Ah, shit. Get your tea and your popcorn because this is gonna be a good one. We have heard it from the horse's mouth. This woman is admitting what we've all been saying for years, which is that there are some women of the unambiguous community who are jealous of type 3 hair. Not everything is about colorism. By the way, I am going to make this the beginning of my texturism series. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about featureism. But I personally believe that texturism and featureism are just as big, if not bigger, than colorism. Because texturism and featureism, you can be of any skin tone and benefit from one of those two things. And also, one of the main ways that people troll light skinned women is by utilizing texturism and featureism. Texturism and featureism goes unchecked in the Black female spaces. But let's get into the video.
The only bitches I'm jealous of, and I ain't even afraid to say it, the only bitches I'm jealous of is the bitches who hair match them curly fucking bundles. I'm talking the ones that be like water wave. I'm talking the water wave. Like, you know, when you get your water wave wig, I'm not talking no curly wig. I'm not talking no deep wave. I'm talking water wave. Not wet and wavy, water wave. I'm talking that curl that stay juicy after you wet it, condition it. No matter what you do, them curls are still soft and juicy. I'm not talking about them curls that you wear in your wig all motherfucking day, and you gotta have a carry spray bottle and a brush. I'm talking to bitches who real hair match them motherfucking water wave bitch. Ah, I just seen this bitch hair seamlessly. Like, y'all, the bundles are so long. Like, they're so long. They're down to the bottom of her ass. And all her leave out matches that curly texture. Those are the bitches I'm jealous of. Oh, how can be like, you really got like, bitch, that's like ultimate hairstyle. Like, bitch, you don't have to worry about no type of heat damage, no type of nothing. Like, bitch, no type of curling your leave out to match the flip over method. No, your hair matches that texture.
So, first of all, I was today years old when I learned that women were curling their hair with curling irons to match bundles. I had no idea that women were actually doing that. So, wow, that's interesting. This woman is being very playful with it. So, like, I don't mind as long as they don't say anything negative. Like, this woman didn't say anything negative about women with type 3 hair. But let's just pretend for a second. What if she came across a woman with type 3 hair and she doesn't like that woman's personality? That is where I become curious because I've noticed that the same women who start off admiring your beauty are sometimes the same women who become extremely vicious against you when they decide that they don't like your personality. But let's look at some of these comments. This girl says, Water Wave is my absolute fave. Somebody else said, I love 4C hair. Like they're trying to balance it out, you know? Somebody else says, nah, them 4B, 4C bundles are gorge. You should try them. So isn't it hilarious how this video is not about 4C hair? It's literally about type 3 hair, but then people had to randomly insert 4C hair textures into the conversation. Somebody else says, yeah, I wouldn't dare try a curly flip over. So what is a curly flip over? Is that supposed to be like the half wigs and stuff? Where it's like, you know, you just leave your natural hair in the front and then you do a fake ponytail or like the fake half wigs? Because that's the kind of stuff that I like doing. And I feel like one of the things that women can sometimes get triggered by, it's the fact that you are effortless when it comes to your beauty regimen because you're just wearing hair that matches your texture. Like when this girl said that women with type 3 hair have no heat damage, it's like, well, you could also have no heat damage if you simply wear curly bundles or whatever that match your hair texture. Or I guess it wouldn't be curly, it would be kinky or whatever, or coily bundles that match your natural leave out. This girl says, I can't even find a real water wave anymore. I've been looking. Someone else says, let me look up water wave. They're basically, they're putting type 3 hair on a pedestal and they don't realize it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, as a type 3 girl myself, I don't mind the pedestal. I mean, thank you very much. But seriously though, what hair texture is water wave? Is that what, 3B, 3A, 3C? I don't really keep up with the human hair because I don't really wear, I'm too cheap to invest that much money in hair that looks that natural. Does anyone else have that problem in the type 3 community? It's like, if you're gonna wear fake hair, if my hair is gonna be fake, I want it to be extra big. I want it to be extra like voluminous. I don't want it to look like it just is growing out of my head. Like, no, if I wanted to do that, I could just wear my natural hair. But I feel like for some women, they're buying the water wave because they literally want to change their entire hair texture. But I guess my question is, how can a 4C blend with a water wave? Like it can't even blend. Like what are they even doing? How are they making their hair look wet and matching with a water wave? It sounds like you kind of can't do that. They would have to wear the headband wig. Like they would have to slick their hair back and the edges and stuff in the front, and then they'd have to wear the headband thing because their the 4C hair texture, even if they did a twist out or something, I feel like it still wouldn't look wet. It wouldn't have the wet look. That's basically what the water wave has. Someone else says mine matches the Burmese curly to the T. Like, what is the Burmese? Okay, hold on. Let me look this up and then I'll insert pictures. Okay, so this is apparently the Burmese curly. This girl says 4C girlies from a 4C girl. For 4A curly sew-ins, crochet the middle part, leave a thin front layer out, and use gummy hair wax on the front. It will blend perfectly with the bundles. Thank me later. So we've got girls using wax and they have to crochet it so that it matches the hair bundles. And I mean, you guys, I don't have a problem with this, obviously. I'm not against weaves and wigs. I only have a problem when people put our hair on a pedestal when they think that we don't hear them. Because this is essentially an unambiguous black woman talking to type 4 girls. So I'm sure she probably does not think that a lot of type 3 girls are watching this. So these are the types of conversations they're having behind closed doors, though. So when you're not around, they won't compliment you to your face or at work or whatever. But when you're not around, they're going behind the scenes and saying, "Oh shit, I wish I had that hair texture." And it's so funny because I was just talking about this in the Discord yesterday about how this one girl at work, I remember I was wearing my hair natural and my hair actually it's like that looser curl pattern. And one of my curls in the front, my curls look perfect, but one of them had just a little teeny tiny bit of frizz. It really wasn't frizz. My hair was actually wet. But she was like, "Oh, one of your curls looks perfect and the other curl is messed up." And I remember thinking, "Bitch, you don't even have any edges. And you're over here like policing my curls." So this is what I'm talking about, though. I kind of have this psychological theory that behind closed doors, the same women who are talking shit to your face, saying that your hair's not that pretty or it looks limp or it doesn't have any volume or you have holes in your hair, you have spaces in your hair. The same women that talk shit, it's the same group of women who behind the scenes are actually wishing that they had that hair texture. And I'm not accusing this girl of being that way because, like I said, this girl didn't actually say anything negative. But have you ever encountered that? This girl says, "I just seen a girl with some long, wet, and wavy, and it was using the sound about matching your hair with the bundles. I almost cried. No gel or edge control needed. It was beautiful." Wait, type 4C girls always need gel and edge control? I thought that they couldn't wear gel. Are you a type 3 girl who always needs gel? Cuz like I know I can use gel. I do actually prefer gel cuz it lasts longer, but like if I don't want to use gel, I will use the Miss Jessie's Pillow Soft Curls or something. So if I use leave-in, it kind of lets my hair have a little bit more volume. It makes the curls curlier, and then the gel it weighs it down, so it like makes it less curly, basically. But isn't that interesting how they're paying attention to so many details about type 3 hair? Like I've never even thought about this many details about type 3 hair, and I have type 3 hair. So it's just very interesting to see girls with type 4 hair kind of memorizing what exact products we're putting in our hair. Like, "Oh, she was not even wearing edge control. She wasn't even wearing gel." By the way, I didn't start wearing any edge control. Actually, I still don't wear a lot of edge control. By the way, my hair secret, so I don't wear edge control really. A cheaper alternative is I actually wear the braiding gel because the braiding gel, you get a big giant like thing and it's basically the same texture. I mean, it's a very strong gel. It's going to hold your hair just like how the edge control does. So that's my secret. So I actually don't wear the edge control because I feel like they're a ripoff. And I feel like the braiding gel is going to slick down your hair just the same. And you get way more gel for like a cheaper price. But isn't that interesting? She's saying, "Oh, no gel or edge control needed. It was beautiful." By the way, I have actually worn my hair natural with no edge control, no gel at all, just letting it get frizzy. And I've had women with type 4 hair comment on my hair saying basically, "You need to do your hair." So isn't it interesting how sometimes women with type 4 hair in person, they will talk shit and be like, "Oh, you need to slick it down," or "You didn't straighten it all the way. That's not how you do a silk press. Oh, the humidity is getting to your hair." Meanwhile, they're behind closed doors amongst other type 4 girls talking about how beautiful type 3 hair actually is. This girl says, "4C girly, get a keratin treatment. Hair reverts back after 4 to 6 months, depending on how much you wash it. So I think a keratin treatment, isn't that like a perm or something? Or kind of like a baby perm or texturizer or something? This person says for the flip overs, they just straighten their hair and then curl it to match the curl pattern. So she's trying to give away type 3 hair secrets. So she thinks she knows, like, oh no, the type 3 girls, they're actually straightening their hair and then they're curling it. Remember I told you guys about how somebody was like, oh, Exoticals United, she's scrunching her hair. Like I've had women make comments like this about my hair, where it's like, oh no, she's doing XYZ with her hair. She's doing this hair secret. She's doing that hair secret. She's finger coiling it. And it's like, why are you so obsessed with a hair texture that you don't have? And I mean, if you are going to be this obsessed, that's fine. Just pay your exotical tax, okay? So just put some respect on our name. So this woman, that I'm not dragging this woman here because she didn't say anything bad. So I don't have a problem with this woman saying what she said. I'm just doing this as a psychological analysis. So if you have type 3 hair, just remember that there are lots of women in the Black community who are purchasing hair that looks like yours. Apparently, there's something called Burmese curly, where I don't know what texture that is. It's probably like what, a 3C or something like that. Maybe a tighter curl that's more adjacent to type 4 hair. This girl says, I'm a Burmese kind of girl. So they're talking about Burmese curly again. So if you got Burmese curly hair, you are on a pedestal. This girl says, but my hair color don't match. Can't win. This girl says, yeah, my hair will only blend for 5 minutes. I mean, if you don't have a certain hair texture privilege, I mean, they're really talking about texturism privilege. A part of texturism privilege is that your hair blends with the weaves and stuff and blends with like the most popular bundles. So if you want texturism privilege, you only have two options. Either change your hair to get that texture, which I don't know if that's possible. Can 4C go to the 3C? Like, I don't know. Can they perm it or something, or can they texturize it? I have no idea. But either figure out a way to make it go to that texture, or you just have no choice but to get over it. This girl said, would water waves be like 3A, 3B, 3C? This other girl says, I have water waves and hate it. I needed to hear this. Thank you. This girl says, if you have 3A to 4A hair, please transfer. This girl says, I'm only jealous of my sew-in girlies. I want one without my hair reverting in a few hours. This girl says, get a smoothing treatment and your hair will match it too, sis. Yeah, a lot of Black women, I feel like they are so kind of like obsessed with only the Black hair care spaces that they are not keeping up with all of the different types of hair treatments they could potentially get. Like in the Latin community or in the white community, you know, they have smoothing treatments. They've got the Brazilian treatments. Now, I will say, though, I think it damages their hair. So I think maybe that's why they're not getting it, because it breaks their hair off. Okay, this is editing EU. And another thing I forgot to say is I feel like part of the reason why some of them don't get Brazilian treatments or smoothing treatments or texturizers, keratin treatments, etc., is because by doing that, they would be admitting that they believe that type 3 hair actually is beautiful. So I think that it's kind of a pride thing as well. Like they don't want to admit that they prefer type 3 hair above their own hair texture, because in the Black community, you know how they do a lot of gaslighting to where, like, if you don't want to be as dark as possible, you're colorist. If you don't want your features to be as broad as possible, you're featurist. And then if you don't want your hair to be as kinky as possible, you're texturist. So I feel like some women, they're scared of people calling them texturist, or they're scared of people gaslighting and saying that they're self-hating. And I do think some women change themselves out of self-hate, but I don't think all women change themselves automatically out of self-hate. But with Black women in particular, I feel like sometimes other type 4 Black women will gaslight the type 4 women who get relaxers and stuff, and they'll be like, oh, you hate yourself. And so then they're almost like scaring these other women out of doing anything to actually change their hair texture. But it's like, that can end up holding them back from meeting their own internalized beauty standard, because not every woman, actually my theory is that most women do not meet their internalized beauty standard naturally, myself included, because my internal beauty standard includes like fake stuff, so like hair extensions, makeup, or whatever. So for those women, if their hair would blend better if they straighten their hair or did a smoothing treatment or whatever, I feel like some of them are just too scared. They don't have the courage basically to get it, because they don't want to be questioned by the unambiguous Black cult. You know, they don't want to be questioned by their pro-Black cult leaders in the Black community about why they got a smoothing treatment. Like, oh, you just trying to blend your hair with the bundles. You know, they can't handle the smoke basically. And by the way, this is the same pretty girl smoke that we receive every single day. But anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.